What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Cjthecheesedj here, and today, guys, I'll be showing you the easiest way to go about killing the DODOREX. Now, for this, you will need quite a few tames. I'm not going to lie, quite a few tames, and you should expect literally every single one of them to die in the process. So, guys, the tames that we are using today are a Giga, as well as Deinonychuses and Thylacoleos. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what are the freaking Thylacoleos for? Well, the Thylacoleos also applied a bleed effect that does 5% of the target's HP over 10 seconds, I believe. So, that paired with the Deinonychuses bleed causes them to stack and just deal extreme amounts of damage to targets with huge amounts of health. Now, the Giga is mainly to try and soak some of the damage so that he targets the Giga instead of the actual Thylacoleos and the Deinonychuses. But what you actually want to do is not send in all your Thylacoleos. You want to send in a couple because their bleed effect doesn't actually stack like the Deinonychuses. So you only want to send a couple of Thylacoleos in at a time, just to keep refreshing that breeding rate that they have. So you've got a couple of options. You can obviously cryo them up and throw them out as they die, or just kind of try and keep them back and send them all in. Now, if you've got tribe mates, it's going to help exponentially if you get them involved, because they're going to be able to command your dinos and all that sort of stuff as well. So, yeah. Now, you can also swap out the Giga for something else, such as like a Reaper King, an army of Rexes, that sort of stuff. And I would bring extras of them as well, because they don't hit as hard with their bleed. They don't hit as hard as the Deinonychuses and the Thylacoleos, but they still hit pretty damn hard. Now, all of these guys have an imprint buff on them, so they've got the stat imprint, and the Thylacoleos have just been bumped up into HP, because you want to turn them into tanks. You don't really want them to deal more melee damage because it doesn't increase the damage of their bleed. That scales with the target's health. The same is said for the Deinonychuses. You bump them up in HP and don't worry about their melee damage because the same situation. Their damage, their bleed damage, scales off the target's maximum HP, which is why you want to make sure they're as tanky as possible. Now, obviously, you can use allos as well for this. However, I've gone with Thylacoleos because out in the wild, you actually have a higher chance of finding Thylacoleo saddle blueprints than you do allo saddles. So, and I also think Thylacoleos are a little bit more tankier than allos, and to actually get that bleed effect, you need to have them in a pack. So, yeah, but let's get into it. We are going to be finding the DODOREX during the day because at nighttime it's a little bit harder to see, but you guys will probably be finding it during nighttime, unless, of course, you spawn it in which case, spawn it in during the day so you can actually see what you're doing. Alrighty guys, so we're going to spawn in the DODOREX. Now, I'm not going to be riding any of the tames just so I can show you guys its health with the creative mode gun. We are going to try and get our Giga to kite the damage and stuff like that, but it's going to be a bit hard when we're not riding him. But if we do ride him, it's going to mean that he's going to be immune to damage, which we obviously don't want that. So let's get him in here. Now, we've only got 2 Thylas out at the moment. We're going to get everything to attack and hope that the Giga does take most of the brunt of the damage. But you look at the DODOREX's health just get plummeted. Paired with the Deinonychuses and the Thylacoleos bleed, it just saps the shit out of the DODOREX. Look at it drain. Now, obviously, Deinonychuses in their own right are extremely formidable and dangerous with their bleed effects, but paired with Thylacoleos, the bleed effects just stack and they deal so much extra damage. Now, our Deinonychuses are currently getting killed, which, I mean, it's a little bit of a concern, but we still have the Thylacoleos out there, and we did only go into this with, like, what, 6 Deinonychuses? So, I'm not too worried about them. But look at that! In mere, like, not even 30 freaking seconds, he's already down to 200k HP. We haven't lost, okay, we lost 1 Thyla there. We've still got a Deinonychus out there kicking. Our Giga is still kicking. Is there another Thyla down there? I can't really see. It looks like it, there's got to be. Okay, his health has he's stopped plummeting, which honestly is fine, because what we can do now, throw out 1, throw out 2, and get them in there to help out. Boom. Boom. Just like that. And our Giga actually miraculously survived, which I'm so freaking shocked about. How much health did you have left, big fella? Barely any. 2,000 HP. We did have 1 Deinonychus survive, and we only lost 2 Thylas. So literally 6 Deinonychuses, 2 Thylacoleos, and I'm going to say probably 1 Giga is all it took to take down the DODOREX. Believe me when I say this, Thylacoleos and Deinonychuses will absolutely melt the shit out of the DODOREX, like you just saw there. Now, like I mentioned, do keep some of your Thylas cryoed up or kept to the sides, and only have enough for some mate boosted Thylas, because that'll cause them to take less damage and deal a little bit more damage with their normal bites. But like, yeah, I'm genuinely speechless because of the damage output from the Thylas and the Deinonychuses. Their bleed effect stacks, so it's definitely worth investing in some Thylas. And if you've been playing on your servers for a while, you're definitely going to have a couple of Thylas sitting around and some Deinonychuses. So I'd heavily recommend getting them out there and killing the DODOREX. But just like that, we killed the DODOREX. We got a Ghost Basilisk Chibi, the Direwolf Chibi, which is 2 of the new ones. And we got the Skeletal Wyvern Chibi as well as 500 of each of the Halloween resources. So I would heavily, I cannot say this enough, recommend bringing Thylacolios and Deinonychuses. You can swap out the Giga for Reapers, Rexes, anything like that if you want. And if you've got tribe mates, definitely get them. We weren't even controlling any of the dinos because we were just floating in the air. But guys, there you have it. That's all you need in order to kill the DODOREX. Dodo Wyvern is essentially the same situation. However, you have to try and ground it from the sky, which can be a bit annoying. You can use the Reaper's balls of sticky goo stuff to actually do it, which is possible. But we'll cover that up in a later video. Nonetheless, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe down below for more, and share it with your friends if they want to defeat the DODOREX. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.